One, two, three, four.
And welcome back to another episode of BWB, Break with His Brothers. Let's give it up for Break with His Brothers. Yeah.
For everyone cheering out there, thank you so much. I could hear it erupting through the channels of no idea. Anyway, what's up, party people? Hopefully everyone's rocking and rolling on this beautiful Friday. We are looking at each other now, thinking about how epic it is to live in a Breakfast Brothers shoe. You can't fathom the awesomeness that emanates from Ian and I. So here we are today, coming at you with a hot and heavy topic. What are we talking to the people about, Ian?
Wouldn't they like to know? We're talking about fruit.
Hot and heavy topic.
Hot and heavy topic. Fruit. Fruit. Give it up for fruit.
Give it up for fruit. Woo! And it may get only hot and heavy because our opinions are going to be very strong about fruit. Not that I'm willing to die on hills or anything, but I'm sure there will be plenty of haters out there that are like, how could you ever talk about a blueberry like that? You know, I mean, hopefully we don't get to that point, but who knows?
You can call us out. I'm still going to like my fruit that I like.
Oh, I would change my opinion about fruit just because some hater told me they didn't like it. That would be like if someone told me that hamburgers are actually awful. I would be like, well, that's crazy, as I'm devouring a bacon cheeseburger, you know?
That's wild.
Yeah. Man, that's great. But that's where we're at today, because I don't think we hurt anybody's feelings with fruit. Fruit is a universal sweet snack. You know, I think there's something for everyone as far as fruit goes. And for me, you know, I got a couple favorites. One of them being raspberries, another one being cantaloupe. And I know people who couldn't stand either of those. You know, it's something about the flavor and the texture. But that's why there are so many fruits available for your liking. But what are your favorites, dude? You got any big time ones?
I can never go wrong with an apple. Honestly, that's like one of my favorites. But, of course, as you know, as most of you know, there's different varieties of apples. And it specifically has to be a Honeycrisp apple. That is like
for me too. Yeah,
top tier favorite apple. Because, like, I mean, you know, there's some other apples that are good. I had way too many Granny Smith apples.
Macintosh is too soft.
Way too soft.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a weird little thing.
Granny Smith is too soft, or the Macintosh?
Oh no, Granny Smith is just like. Did I lose you?
Yes. Did my question come through?
Yes, it was something about like Granny Smith is being too soft. No, that is not the case. I just had way too many. Like, I ate way too many Granny Smith apples growing up. It was just too much. Too much. I had to stop after I hit like 13 years of age, that is.
Oh, I was like, 13 apple. I didn't even realize you ever could put down 13 apples in a sitting.
No, God, no. No, I'd have a stomach ache after like the third one. But yeah, no, Granny Smith is just too sour. But I don't mean to get off. Apples, like Honeycrisp apples, and then I would have to say probably it's a battle between a banana and my now new favorite, white nectarines.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta try one now. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to experience the same excitement that you saw. But
yeah, just let them get a little ripe.
Too often of a chance to try new fruit. So white nectarine, definitely on the list now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like a genetically modified type fruit deal. I haven't really looked into it. I just found them the one day when I went shopping, and I said, "White nectarines. What are these?" Grabbed a couple.
Well,
And,
I bet that a white nectarine is living within the same realm that farmers who grow flat peaches exist. Where they're just adjusting. I'm assuming at that point it's the cross pollination of certain seeds and stuff that produces that certain result. Now, I don't know if that's how they got a white nectarine. Can't say for sure. But I know with flat peaches, normal peach is like round and spherical. A flat peach is just as you would describe it, flatter. It looks like a
yeah,
like a
what
donut
is it?
almost.
I was gonna say donut peach is another term for it. And I think like some people call them UFO peaches or something like that. That's very very small, but it's either donut peach or
I think it's
Saturn
just
peaches.
Saturn peach too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no.
I can't think
I
of
do enjoy
the other like random fruits. Yes, ones that Brad and
cherums.
Dad were talking about. Yep, cherry. What is that? Cherry plums, and then
Yep, cherry plums,
they have pluots, plum apricots,
pluots. Yeah, those are crazy.
and then I can't think of the other cross that they were talking about. But these are all fruits that aren't normally being sold at grocery stores. Like if you walk into a Price Chopper or a ShopRite or a Weiss in your area and you go and try to shop, you're going to find the basics, pretty much your classic apples, the oranges, the whole mix of berries, and so on and so forth. But the ones that you're really going to find, those crosses, or even like branching into those like weirder fruits, and I don't want to say that these fruits are weird, but the ones that you just don't see enough, like mangoes, dragon fruit, lychee berries, and then there's another one that I every now and again will see pop up. I can't think of it. If you're gonna find them, you're gonna want to go to a farmer's market, more chance. And then also, of course, it just depends on the area you live in. Some like Ian's case, he's buying white nectarines. I would have probably never seen that unless Ian told me about that. And in some areas,
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some
it's all
we got some
seasonal-based,
funky fruits.
That's cool.
We got some.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have. There's always dragon fruit. I don't know why, but it's always there. We have coconuts that we can buy as well, which is pretty sweet. Haven't bought a coconut yet. Maybe I will. Might mess around and buy a coconut. And they have some. They have like every now and again they'll switch up like what they have in like the special section, like where I always see the dragon fruit, the coconuts, and stuff like that. They'll have like different things littered in there whenever they have a funky order come through, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to change up a couple of things.
I mean, I'd like to think they do on purpose, especially when things come into season. Like I know some bigger stores, like Wegmans can do it for sure. And then of course places like Whole Foods, or that other big one, Trader Joe's, that get very specific about what they're bringing into stores and then bringing in new stuff. Because that's when I'll go and shop at those places and see different stuff that I'm not normally shopping for, especially when it's in season. Like strawberries, about 2 months ago into even right now, are pretty cheap, because they were in season. And then things like cherries were pretty expensive, and even blueberries jumped up a little bit, because they're not necessarily in season. It feels like all year round, apples are usually pretty affordable. And don't quote me on this. You might get slammed by apple prices. No idea. But it's just one of those things. Like usually I shop around for fruit, and I'm trying to get the best deals I can and not pay an arm and a leg. But some people just buy the same fruit all the time because that's what they like, and there's no harm in that. I mean, fruit's good for you. So if you're buying fruit, shout out you. Good job. Keep it up. And if you're not, what the heck is wrong with you? Fruit's so good. Get on it. Yesterday. ASAP. Please.
Sorry, I missed that last end there.
I was
What'd you
yelling
say?
at every one of our listeners to start buying fruit religiously.
Oh yeah, please buy fruit. Like for a while, I just was not like getting hungry at the end of the day. Like I would have like a relatively big lunch, like kind of throughout, and then by the end of the day I'd come back and it's like I don't feel like doing anything. Like I don't feel like even moving. Um and then I just wasn't like having an appetite, and I would just have like a piece of fruit, just to have something good coming into my system. So whether that be a banana, nectarine, apple, like I always have blackberries, and I'll put that like in some Chobani, like a little cup, just have yogurt and blackberries. I usually just get the vanilla. I don't want to like, I'm gonna get, one of these times I'm gonna get strawberries, and then I'm gonna accidentally get this strawberry Chobani, and it's not gonna work. It's too much strawberry. But
No, I hear you. I've done that before too.
But yeah, no. So like fruit is like awesome because it also fills like you up pretty quickly, because usually it's sweet. Obviously it's gonna be sweet. But
Sure.
the majority of the time it's like you can eat fruit to your heart, to your heart's content, or you can just have like an apple or like a banana and something else, and like that would be like filling enough, and then just have some water right behind it, and you're golden.
For a hot minute, I was just eating fruit as lunch. I'd bring in
Yeah.
an apple, sometimes pair it with a banana and maybe some type of mixed nuts, peanuts, cashews, maybe trail mix in general. And if it wasn't that, it was like a bag of berries, strawberries, blueberries, occasionally raspberries, because raspberries are expensive. But that's one of those things where, like Ian was saying with yogurt, huge gameplay is go make a smoothie. And of course, not everyone has a blender. I get it. But if you do, or some type of machine that can mix together a creation, I say full send. Because if you are having a hard time like eating fruit, you're not a big fruit person, just because you're weirded out by how quickly it goes bad, or the flavor on it, because you don't like washing it, you just want to eat it right then and there. I get it. You throw it in the smoothie. You throw it in a blender. You get strawberry smoothies, obviously great. Strawberry and banana smoothie is obviously great. Blueberry smoothies are insane. You just have to use a lot of blueberries.
Yeah.
Man, what was the last one I tried? Never tried the blend grapes, and I probably wouldn't do it. And I'm not going to recommend it, but here we are. Smoothie it up. Throw some yogurt in that bad boy. And then if you're really feeling spicy, get yourself some chia seeds. I'm telling you, game changer. They don't do much as far as sustenance, but they are packed with calcium. So, and fiber, calcium and fiber.
Yep, very good for you. Chia seeds are definitely a game changer. I'm not a huge fan of chia seeds, but I have, I get myself some, I like to get like pomegranate juice. Pomegranates, slept on. Extremely hard fruit
Ooh,
because you
yes,
have
I
to like,
completely forgot about the pomegranate game. Yeah.
yeah, you have to like completely split it all open and like deal with all that mess. But once you like truly get through all of it, you're golden. Like you can just sit there and snack on it for months. Not really months. I'd have it cleared out in one day, but probably within an hour. But I usually just get like pomegranate juice, and instead of just getting the actual pomegranate, because it's so hard. Like no one really sells pomegranate at the right time, and sometimes they're very like bitter, like extremely bitter than they already are. So it's like you have to like find them at the right time, and truthfully, I don't know it off the top of my head. So I always just go pomegranate juice because of the great antioxidants within it. So definitely a game changer.
I wish I could down some pomegranate juice. I'm a big like not a pomegranate hater, but I'm just not a lover. I think the bitterness is always thrown me
It's
away
definitely
as far
like
as eating the
an
fruit
acquired
or even
taste.
the juice.
But it's something that I like. Truthfully, I'm enjoying it more than orange juice now, and I think it's because like I don't know. I feel like good after like I chug a little bit of pomegranate juice right in the morning, like right when I wake up. I enjoy orange juice hella. Like it's one of my favorite things to have in the morning. But I've found like much more, I don't know, I guess much more benefit from like just swigging some pomegranate juice quick before I leave in the morning. Like I feel like it picks my energy up a little bit, being that I have like relatively long days. It's easy for me to see now, like when like, energy is dipping, energy is like up, so on and so forth.
I mean, I was about to come at you for like the orange juice hate speech, but then you redeemed yourself by saying that you like it and you do appreciate orange juice. So before I run rampant on the liking pomegranate juice more than orange juice, I gotta respect your decision. I use like for me, I take vitamins before I go to bed, and when I wake up, it's easier to wake up. I feel less groggy, stuff like that. So for you, that's pomegranate juice in the morning, which I get. I totally get that. I'm not a big like food person in the morning. I usually don't eat until like 11 or 12, and for me, that just works. For some people, that won't. So if you are an orange juice lover, orange juice is so good. And if you get a little bit of sugary content orange juice, it might not be the healthiest thing. But obviously the vitamin C in orange juice is a huge supporter of being able to have a functioning immune system. Aside from that, if you're making your own orange juice, now I know this is crazy. If you got a juicer, stuff like that. I don't own a juicer. I would if I, cared about making my own juice. I just don't. But if you were making your own fruit juices, then you're helping yourself out a whole lot more than buying, the processed stuff in stores. And don't get me wrong, stores will sell the basic ingredient juices and stuff like that, where you can get just juice with, a little bit of sugar or, whatever that other basic ingredient is. But you got to stay away from the bigger ones that are super processed. They have the citric acid in it. You get high fructose corn syrup starting to mix in there. And then at that point, you're not really giving yourself any chance to have a healthy fruit juice experience. You're just loading yourself up with sugar, which is going to turn into, that quick, short-lived high, and then you're just going to crash. But that's the great thing about fruit, where if you can avoid eating a big lunch and just down some fruit, or even if at the end of the day you want to snack on something, skip the chips, grab an apple. Skip the chips, grab a banana. And that's the thing about fruit, is like Ian was saying earlier, it's just you can make it a snack vibe. And I think that's the cool thing about it, is it can be a meal and it can also be a snack. And then you can also learn a lot by going and shopping and asking your I don't want to say that you should have conversation with your grocery store workers or anything, but there are some knowledgeable people, when it comes to asking about fruit, when things are in season, so you can save some money. I'm telling you, man, I hate to sit here and be like this super fruit connoisseur and just promote fruit, but I've always had good things to say about it. And I won't say any good things about grapefruit today, but plenty of other fruit that you can absolutely eat and love. So
Yeah, grapefruit definitely deserves a thumbed down.
big
I've
down, dude. Huge
I've
grapefruit
tried
hater here. I'm so sorry, listeners. Grapefruit sucks. Shout out to any other fruit ever.
like I've given it a shot so many times. I've
Same,
given
dude.
grapefruit juice a shot so many times, and it's just like I want to enjoy it because one, it's fun to eat when you have that cool little spoon that cuts through.
Oh,
Can't
of
beat
course.
that. You
Yes,
just
sir.
cut it right in half, real easy. You just scoop out. Um, so it's like I want to enjoy it, but it's so like it's even more bitter than a pomegranate in the worst way.
Yes, it is. It really is.
And it's just like you can put a little sugar on top of it. Honestly, I was like, okay, this isn't too bad with a little sugar just to combat the bitterness. But
Yeah.
even at that point, it's like I don't want to have to put sugar on top of it. I just want to eat the fruit. Like, I'm kind of trying to avoid eating sugary stuff, so it's like let me actually just have fruit and just get natural sugars that way. Nope.
Right.
Can't do it with
Right.
grapefruit. Can't do it with grapefruit.
And you know what? I will say, Ian brought up the point about using the grapefruit spoon, and it immediately made me think of how much I hate like peeling fruit like that. Grapefruit, of course, you can peel like an orange and eat it like that. You know, cutting it in half is it's a common thing because grapefruits are so huge that eating half of it is basically eating like one piece of fruit. But with stuff like grapefruit, the shelled fruits, I don't eat oranges a lot because I have to peel the skin. And for me, the little bits that get into my cuticles, and then also the stickiness of my hands afterwards, it's like don't get me wrong, like eating any fruit is a chore, you know, just because you have to go through the process of, you know, cleaning it and you know putting yourself in a bowl or whatever, and then your hands get sticky regardless. You know that's inevitable. But I think are one of the worst fruits to eat, mainly because of the this process you got to go through. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to wash an orange, which is awesome. You could just grab it straight out of the bowl and then just start ripping away. But it's a matter of that rip away that will make or break my orange experience. If it's easy and it comes off, orange is going to taste so good. It's going to be the best orange ever. If I have to sit there for 25 minutes peeling away little tiny pieces that are the size of a centimeter, then I'm probably going to chuck my orange against the wall before I'm done even finishing eating it and just having an awful time. It's totally situational for me. Now, I don't know if you have the same orange experience, but I feel like I speak for a lot of people out there.
Like I'm not a huge fan of just oranges. I do love clementines. Like
So good.
clementines or mandarins, like really good.
Both amazing.
And obviously, as you know, like with clementines, you have a similar issue, but they're a little bit easier to peel. Even if you don't get like the easy peel ones, because I know those are out there, like the halos and
Right,
such.
right.
But as for like oranges, it's just like that's too much citrus for me. Like in like one sitting, truthfully. Like I've tried it. I love oranges. Like they're delicious. Like get a nice couple of slices is perfect.
Yeah.
But like usually an orange is about like a handful size, and it's just like after I get through half the orange, it's like okay, I'm kind of over this at this point. And I'm sorry to those that love oranges out there because I do love oranges. It's just like one in a sitting is just it's too much for me. So I usually go like clementines as my citrus.
That's not a bad move. I used to be on that wave too because the easy peel halos is very good, and then just the clementine mandarin in general thing is you're eating much less amounts of food compared to a full orange, and some of the oranges, for example, a navel orange, can get huge, and it is a lot of orange to be going through, and I kind of feel the same way like we were already talking about grapefruit. But I do kind of feel the same way with apples sometimes. I know we're back on the apple topic. But in this case, apples, you're going through that cleaning process because you're going to eat the skin. Unless you peel it off. I respect the peel off. I get it. Sometimes the skin can get stuck in your teeth, or it could be really sheeny and it's waxy and it doesn't taste like an apple anymore. I get it. But when you're chopping an apple, for me, like if I'm eating apples with peanut butter and I'm chopping an apple up, that's how I love to eat an apple, chopped into slices. Because then it's like if I only want to eat half of it, then perfect. I can save the other half for lunch tomorrow or a late night snack or whatever. But then it's also one of those things where, again, you're choring yourself to get ready for the snack. So you can just eat it straight up, call it a day. I love skin on my apples. I'm not going to sit there and worry about peeling my skin off my apple. But it's one of those things like it's another situational thing. Like, do I want to slice it and eat it with peanut butter? Or do I just want to go straight in this apple and devour the whole thing in half a minute? That type of vibe.
Yeah, no, I do like dicing up my apples. Or not dicing, just splitting up. It's just when I have the time, of course. I like to relax and have my apple, and whether it's I can't have peanut butter, but I usually like a little bit of caramel. Like
Ooh, yeah.
either dipping it or like if I can drizzle it over, that's much better than trying to dip it.
100%.
But that's like I said, if I got the time, I'll cut it up, do whatever, nonch on it. But for people who don't like skin on the apple, sorry, get out of here. sorry, no. In some cases, yes, I understand. Like Macintosh, like skin is like a little bit. I don't know. It always seemed like a little bit thicker to me, or a little bit like tougher. Um,
Mm, mm.
and
And it's
like,
weird
or
for a soft apple. Like, what's with that?
yeah.
What?
Well,
What?
that's. I think that makes sense. With a softer apple, you have a thicker skin. Um, so
The logic is there. Me
right,
liking Macintosh is absent.
yeah, completely out the window.
Threw it away
But
already.
like, but for any other apple, because obviously, no one likes Macintosh, and if you do, you're a heathen. Um, for any other apple, the skin like is, I think, in my opinion, is like one of the best parts. I shouldn't say one of the best, but like is a good part to the apple in my opinion. For Granny Smith, that's another one where it's like a little bit thicker skin to it. That one I can understand peeling like for a Granny Smith, but for the rest, I would say like skin on, like just crunch into the apple. That's the best part.
Mm. Mm.
Is the skin getting in
Like
between
a
your teeth?
classic apple. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about crunching into a nice Honey Crisp right now.
Oh yeah.
Because like you, I am a Honey Crisp fan. But aside from more apple talk, I was thinking about other shelled fruits and the excitement that the shoring brings. Honeydew, cantaloupe. I mean, coconut is one, but that's not like a fruit that you eat like that. And pineapple. When you're chopping those up, getting through everything, spooning out your core, or in the pineapple's case, just cutting around it. That's another series of fruits where it's 100% worth anything you have to do to it. If you get a ripe cantaloupe, honeydew, I'm not so high on, but when you have a ripe honeydew, incredible. And then, of course, pineapple is the superior pine of apples, as far as, I don't know, I won't call it an exotic fruit, but just the flavor feels exotic because it's so different from other fruit flavors, that you're getting from, for example, like a blueberry. You know what a blueberry tastes like. You know what an apple will taste like for the general part, if we're not talking about, types. And then oranges, another very specific flavor. But pineapple is just that zing, and then also that very sweet, quick flavor, and then also even sometimes a touch sour in like a good way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge enjoyer of honeydew or cantaloupe, and I know you're gonna hate me for that, and you've always hated me for that because
Just the
I don't
cantaloupe
like
part.
those.
Honeydew is fine. I get it.
Not a huge fan of melons, other than watermelon. Love watermelon, by the way.
forgot the watermelon.
Yeah, I don't know how you could forget
Gas.
watermelon, dude. Absolutely amazing. Love watermelon.
Insane.
Um,
Always good.
I could die on a bed of watermelon, and I would be very much fulfilled.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as for like honeydew or cantaloupe, not a huge fan. Never have. I've tried it over and over again. It just, I don't know. I don't like either of them. I just could never get around to them. I don't even think it's like it's like a flavor type deal for me. I don't know if it was even like texture. Maybe it was texture. Who knows? Either way. As for pineapple though, amazing. Literally no other terms to describe just the fruit itself. It's amazing. That's it. That's all I gotta say. That's all I need to say.
I think with that, you ended on the perfect note. Amazing pineapple. Doesn't like cantaloupe enough. But he will down some apple skins.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You also forgot the part where I would die on a bed of watermelon, so.
Ah, yes, of course. Again, forgot the watermelon. It's a classic
Yep.
fruit. 90% water. And for some reason, it's still the sweetest fruit under the sun. And also tastes great. If you get a ripe watermelon, not the slushy, mushy, weird watermelon, you will have a great time. And there are people that I've seen infuse watermelon with like alcohol, like vodka or tequila, sometimes even rum, and then you can get
Oh,
like
yeah.
boozy watermelon. And of course, like if you're not a drinker, like obviously don't do it. But if you are, it's definitely something to try if you're a watermelon fan, because it's basically just like if you made Jello in the fridge with alcohol. Now in this case, you're just doing it with a big old fruit, And now I'm not trying to condone anyone's craziness, but you just, have a nice help in a watermelon, and you got a nice buzz on, and it's delicious. So definitely a try if you're ever thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. But I think on that note, we need to wrap up here. As much as I would love to keep talking about fruit. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We appreciate you listening to our fruit rant, and we hope you agreed with our fruit rant, because if you don't, that's it. But again, thank you guys. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, leave a like. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Let us know what you think about the other episodes. Let us know what you think. What do you think? But give us a follow over on Spotify, and then give us a subscribe over on YouTube. And we'll catch you guys on the flippy flop. So until next time, peace.